Doke. First thing you should know is I don't have fret markers, so I'll call out the fret numbers so that we stay on the same page. Everything I play in Pro Logic is tuned a full step down. They play in drop D, and I don't like playing in drop D because every pattern that I'm about to show you, it gets chucked out the window if I just play in drop D, so I tune everything down to D. Everything that I write comes from the major scale and the minor scale. I don't really use any exotic scales or modes. I use major and minor triads from time to time. I use double stops occasionally, harmonics occasionally, and I have a couple of slap techniques that I use. First, the two patterns of the major scale that I use is if you start on 3, you'll go from 3 to 5, and then you'll go to the A string and do 2, 3, and 5. Then you'll go to the D string and go 2, 4, and 5. And then if you want to carry it a little further, you can go to the G string and do 2, 4, and 5 again. So it's... Sorry. The second pattern, which is good if you want to move across the fretboard, is because it's a little more spread out. Starting on 3, you go 3, 5, 7. And then on the A string, you do 3, 5, 7 again. And then on the D string, you would do 4, 5, 7. And then again on the G string, 4, 5, 7. So it sounds like this. The minor scale, what am I up to? 2 minutes already? It's hard to read. The minor scale, same thing. There's two different patterns. The first one starting on 3 is going to go 3, 5, 6, 3, 5, 6 again, 3, 5, and if you want to continue on, you go from that 5 to the 7, 3, 5, 7. So that sounds like this. The second way to play that is a little trickier, but starting on 3, and I don't use this one as much, but starting on 3, you would go 3, 5, drop down to your A string and start on 1 and do 1, 3, 5, and then on the D string 1, 3, 5 again, and then on the G string it would be 2, 3, 5. So that sounds like this. The minor scale is where a lot of your rock stuff is going to come from. A lot of your like rock and metal chord progressions are going to come from, you know, a minor scale. But then triads. I use triads, and there's 2 shapes for each triad. 2 shapes for the major, 2 shapes for the minor. We'll start on 5, so I don't run out of space. So you see the fingering. So starting on 5, the first shape for the major triad is going to start on 5 on the E string, 4 on the A string, and then 7 on the A string as well. So that's what that sounds like. The second way to play the major triad is across 3 strings. So it's going to start on 5 on the E string, go to 4 on the A string, then go to 2 on the D string. The minor triad is starting on 5. You're going to play 5 on the E string, 3 on the A string, 7 on the A string as well. So that's what that sounds like. And then the second way to play that, the easier way to play that triad, is starting on 5 on the E string, you go 5. To the A string, you'll go 3. And then to the D string, you'll go to 2. What else? we've got double stops. There's one lick in one of the songs that I can think of off the top of my head that I use double stops. And the lick itself is, that's completely incorrect. The lick itself is, and all that is major and minor thirds with like one note in between. And I've never had any lessons, and everything I've learned about music theory I learned on my own. So if anyone else is watching this video besides Brian and you want to flame me because I say something wrong, if anything is incorrect, then feel free to go nuts and call me an idiot, because I'll just blame it on, you know, public school education. But that lick is, as far as I know, major and minor thirds. So this would be a major third, and a minor third. And the way that I figured this out is if you play that first, I think it was the first major scale pattern I showed you, which, by the way, all these patterns that I'm showing you are movable anywhere on the neck. So if you want to play, if your root note's on the 3rd fret and you want to play a major scale, well, let's say you want to slide that whole thing up a full step. It's the same fingering, the same pattern, and you can move it anywhere you want to. You can start it on the A string. And the triads are the same way. As long as you can finger it, it's, you know, it's movable. Anywhere you want to go. So the way I figure, I digress. The way I figure out the double stops is the first one starts on the 3, 5, 7, 8th fret on the A string, and it's a major third. And the way I figure that out is by starting on the 8th fret on the E string, playing that major scale, and getting to the 3rd note. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, when you play them up here, it sounds muddy and it's not clear and it sounds horrible. So what I did is move the 3rd up an octave so that it gives you more clarity. So find that octave. There's my root. There's my 3rd. Put the 3rd on an octave and you get that. And then I slide that up. That same pattern. And then I go to what I would think is a minor third. And the reason I think it's a minor third is because if this is my root, I don't know what that was. If this is my root, and I play a minor scale, that's the 3rd note. 1, 2, 3. Put it an octave higher, and I get what I would think is a minor second. A minor third, sorry. So that lick is major third, minor third, minor third, with a note to walk to the next major third, and then repeat. And that's double stops in a nutshell, as far as I use them. Harmonics, I'm at 847. Harmonics, the best place, and I'll put the link in the description, but the best place to learn harmonics is that website I showed you, where it's got that little flash animation and it shows you every single harmonic on the neck of the bass, and even gives you the note names. So that's the best place to learn it. And the best place to listen to figure out how to use harmonics, in my opinion, in music, to use harmonics in music would be Jaco Pastorius's Portrait of Tracy. It's like the definitive study of bass harmonics. I mean, it's amazing. It's awesome the way he 85% of the song is harmonics and the rest of it's notes that complement the harmonics. It's astonishing. So if you haven't heard it, listen to it. So that covers major, minor, double stops, harmonics, triads. The last thing I'll show you is the slap techniques I use, which I'm going to run out of time because I'm at 9:50. So I hope this helps. I'll cover slap in the next video.